Okay, then I want to move on to another question we got online. What can be done about empty semesters caused by COVID mandated project delays? And I think all of our student workers on the panel mentioned some delays in their own projects. I want to see if give any of you a chance to talk a little bit more about those delays and how you think the university can best address those.
I'd be happy to add something just briefly here. So as I expressed earlier in the sort of like official statement, the Fulbright grant that I got, has been delayed at least through January, if not being canceled in its entirety. We have only 4 semesters of guaranteed teaching provided or guaranteed rather by Harvard. And to burn through one of these semesters of guaranteed teaching with basically no material with which I can write my dissertation would really severely impact my ability to write a good dissertation down the line, because after the 4 semesters are up, you're looking at significant pay cuts, taking on more teaching responsibilities in order to make up for that gap. And writing a dissertation under those conditions is, I think a lot of the more senior grad students know, pretty difficult. So something that I can see just immediately, at the very least, is an extension of the time we have in terms of guaranteed teaching, because through no fault of our own, we're going to be stuck here in Cambridge without research funding, and we just need to sort of make ends meet, ride out this crisis together as a community, and then move on to produce the kind of scholarship that we came here to produce. That's my take.
If I can add something else. So I guess from the perspective of an experimental scientist, there is some stuff that we can do now having transitioned into remote work. But I think for a lot of people that I've talked to and sort of for my own research, there's a huge amount of my dissertation that's just not possible to do remotely. And it means that, you know, this is not a delay that means, oh, like maybe one chapter of my dissertation will look different. It just means however long we're stuck not being able to go into lab, that adds on, you know, double that time to actually being able to finish the dissertation. And so I think for a lot of students, especially if you are in an experimental lab, the guidance that we've sort of been hearing is that, like, you know, your advisor will provide for your funding and then we'll consider that on a case-by-case basis. But I think what's not really accounted for in that fact is that the way that you get grants is based on your experimental sort of findings and being able to show something. And so this chunk of not being able to do work because we're not able to access the labs will affect the ability of the grants or affect our ability to be able to get grants and fellowships in the future. And so I think one of the things that the university really should be doing for us is looking into this year of bridge funding and really guaranteeing the fact that, look, because of this delay, it means that it's not just 2 months or 3 months of your research that's really being affected. It's this entire sort of year trajectory of stuff. And so I think really putting in place this year of bridge funding is something that we really need in this situation.
Thank you.